The Great Northern Railway achieved its ambition of reaching the rich Erewash Valley coalfield when the Pinxton branch line opened in 1875. A passenger service commenced in 1876, and Jacksdale station was one of the busiest on the line, especially in the mornings with workers travelling into Nottingham. The station itself was quite an unusual structure, built within and above this viaduct of 20 arches, which was situated in an area to the rear of the medical centre and car park, and stretched down as far as Pye Hill Road. The platforms were all originally made of wood, and were supported along the whole of the viaduct with these specially designed three-arm brackets. In the background of this memorial photo you can see these original platform supports. This photo from the 1950s shows some of the station timber structure in the background. From the other side of the viaduct you can see more clearly the vertical brick pillars which were extended when the platforms were converted from wood to concrete slabs. These older photos of the platform show the original timber boards, which were laid with gaps, giving one a similar feeling to that of walking on the pier at the seaside. The station was firstly named Codnor Park and Selston, and then in 1901 renamed as the board shows, Codnor Park for Ironville and Jacksdale. This platform saw some of its largest crowds in the summer weekends, when excursion trains picked up holidaymakers bound for such resorts as Skegness and Mablethorpe. This section of viaduct spanned the old Portland Wharf and Brook, and in the background is the old railway cottage, which was demolished along with the bridges to make room for the car park and community centre. It wasn't until 1950 that the station was renamed Jacksdale, and this was the last name board to be used on the platform. This photo, showing a snow-covered platform, was one of the last to be taken just before the closing of the station. Here's the old Jacksdale signal box, again photographed just before closure. This is Pye Hill Road, which passed under the first arch of the viaduct. Here's the same arch looking from the other side, and immediately under the arch to the right was the station yard and station house, and across the road on the left was the site of Jacksdale's part-time fire service. The original Portland Arms public house was demolished to make room for the building of the railway, and was rebuilt on this site where it stands today. Here we can see the booking office and old entrance gate into the station yard. The booking office under the tracks was rather a dark, dismal setting, with these chapel-like windows, letting in very little daylight. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to obtain any photographs of the original front elevation, showing the wooden staircase and waiting rooms. The timberwork was all removed soon after the closing of the line in 1963, but was something similar to this drawing. The stairs from the booking office came up to this central corridor, which passed under the tracks to the staircases on either side of the viaduct, leading up to the platforms, ladies' waiting room and general waiting room, which were all supported by these heavy timber supports. The whole of this structure was quite complex, and the Great Northern Railway must have gone to great expense to provide this particular station. Here's where the stairs came out onto the platform for the Nottingham-bound travellers. Malcolm Parnham's painting shows the same platform with the goods sheds and sidings in the distance. No, it's not a steam train rumbling over the bridges, but an earth scraper about to devour the railway embankments. My father captured much of the demolition work on his movie film and has kindly allowed me to use some of the footage in this video. It was almost like a landmark being destroyed when the viaduct was eventually reduced to rubble in 1974, after standing in a derelict and rather dangerous state for several years. Number 6 Railway Cottage was the next to make more dust, and make more dust it certainly did. As the work progressed, it was obvious that this part of the village was never going to look quite the same again. The brickwork to the arches was several feet thick in places, and its solid design made it no easy task for the demolition team.